So, if you believe that there's a Mars and that people can land on it, you're under strong delusion. And Elon Musk is a liar. It ain't a devil alive that can defeat the God that I serve. In fact, devils work for the God that I serve. So I'm not scared to speak. And if there's a Mars and if there's planets up there, we should be able to see them just like we can see the sun and the moon. And the sun and the moon are both hot. The moon just a little bit less hot than the sun, but still hot. You cannot get that. If we can get hot like we get in the summertime with the sun burnt me up this summer. I know how hot the sun can really get. I baked. The sun can get really, really hot. And we a long way away from the sun. And it still can burn us. Imagine getting that close. Imagine getting up there with the sun. We would die long before we would make it. Okay? Too hot. All right? First, I want to talk about real quick. My videos, I'm trying to make them real quick because I know people have very short attention spans these days. I don't know what they call it, but I want to talk about, I think I'm going to start right here. So I'm going to start at Acts 19 and 14. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and a chief of the priests, which did so. Wait a minute, let me start up a little bit closer. So, let me see. Okay, we'll start at Acts 19 and 12. I'm sorry. So that from this body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs or aprons, and the diseases parted from them, and the evil spirits went out of them. They had got a hold of some of Paul's, I read this before, handkerchiefs. And so, yeah, they spreaded them around and the disease disappeared just from touching Paul's handkerchiefs. That's how strong the Spirit of the Lord is. When you have him on you, you shift atmospheres. That's how come you stay walking with the Lord. You have power. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Jesus, saying, we adjure you by Jesus whom Paul preacheth. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and a chief of the priests, which did so. So it was seven of them that decided they was going to act like Paul that wasn't called by the Lord. Be careful out here. And the evil spirit answered and said, Jesus I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them. One man leaped on 7 and overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded. He done whooped the clothes up off of them and bruised them up, beat them up pretty bad. And this was known to all the Jews and Greeks also dwelling at Ephesus. And fear fell on them all, and the name of the Lord Jesus was magnified. Don't be out here playing. Don't be out here playing. You can't play. These devils will leap on you and clean you up. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's the first thing I ever talked about when I started my YouTube channel. Don't flip this way and don't flip that way, because them devils finna have you for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. Okay? Don't be out here playing. It's better to be hot or cold than to be lukewarm. If you're going to work for devil, stay over there and stay working for the devil, because the Lord come back for the other shepherd's sheep. You're going to work for God, stay working for God. Get on this battlefield right now, preaching and teaching and warning people, because the time being at hand. But what I really want to talk about, which I really want to talk about all of it, okay? But what I originally started to do the video for is Genesis. And over the weekend, I got to wondering, I'm like, so did Satan create flesh? And I remembered that Genesis, when the Lord began to make man, okay, so we're going to go Genesis 1:26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And you can read the rest of it. And let them have dominion over every fish of the sea and so forth, and fowl of the air. And he said, and give man all dominion, basically. Wrapping it up real quick. But us, because the Lord don't need nobody to help him do nothing. Who is us? Now, I just did a video on the Ahab spirit. And the Ahab spirit is any man who is docile and does not hold his position as a man. And it just goes along with everything that a woman is saying. Ahab spirit. Okay? Letting them do things that he know better than for them not to do. We could kind of say that Adam had an Ahab spirit because he let, but I'm not going to go there. But yeah. Ahab spirit been on the scene for a good while. All right. But to go back to my point about let us make man in our own image, after our likeness, the us. Now let me show you something. Like, okay, in Genesis 1:3, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. One God, he did that by himself. He didn't need anyone else to do that with him. Genesis 1:6. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. One God divided the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters. 8. And God called the firmament heaven. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together the waters seas. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass and herb. 12. And the earth brought forth grass. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven. Okay, so you can read all of Genesis 1. But why, when we get to the making of man, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have the dominion. Who is us? Because God is God of gods, King of kings, Lord of lords, ruler of heaven and earth. why is he talking to someone else and saying, let us? Because just like in strong delusion, Satan's strong delusion in Ahab 2, part 2, the Lord don't do his own dirty work. So they getting ready to do the dirty work. They getting ready to create flesh. Satan, that means Satan has a lot of power. And that's how come people can so easily get confused with the fact that Satan is God. Because that's a lot of power. So that means Satan created flesh, veins, blood vessels, bone structures. And that's how come you see the skeleton being used so much. Because he had a part in creating our skeletal system. Whoa, I don't know about you, but that kind of blew my mind. I wanted to share that because Satan created this flesh. The Lord was an overseer. He called them to do it. He gave them the mind to be able to do it, the wisdom. But he don't do his own dirty work. Just like he sent Satan to delusion, to send strong delusion over Ahab's prophets, to put a lie in their mouths. The Lord knew what Satan was going to do, and he blessed it. He said, you're going to go do that, and you're going to prevail. Be careful and understand what's going on here. This is what I'm trying to really, really bring clear. And please, I'm going to wind this up right now, right quick. Do not celebrate New Year's this year. I've been talking about stargates, portals, and I just found out that New Year's is a big gate, which Christmas is a big gate. These gates is, I'm talking about, y'all don't understand. Y'all is letting stuff in. Do you hear me? You letting stuff in. Y'all opening up portals. Y'all are opening up gateways for them to just come right on in. Right in. Yeah. But they're gonna ramp it up in 2025. 2025. These devils not playing. It's time for you to stop playing too. All right. I love you. The Lord loves you. Is there something else you want me to say, Lord? And may the Lord be with you.